everyone knows that's been to our webinars or live trading room, everything that's said and done at Piper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this trading room. Other trading rooms I might have, webinars or anything else at Piper Trading Systems, should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? All right, I don't see any, so let me go ahead and show some charts. Unfortunately, right now, you've got to wait for a pullback on YM. And Russell, I just wanted to show you here real quick exactly the way I teach this, because it's done every single day. See how we bought this right here? Basically put a band 0 to 1, took the trade off the table right at that top. That's what you've got to learn to do, okay? Because notice that you just simply draw on your charts. That's all there is to it. You know, this was your swing right across here at 26.33.20, but also at 26.33, and it came to right at 80, a little over, and then closed the bar. And as you can clearly see, got out of one of them here, got out of the next one here. The reason for that is, and I teach this all the time, is here was your other swing right here, looking left to trade the right. So it came close to it, so we decided to take our coin on one of our contracts. And that's the way you do it. So today we're going to talk about some of these. And obviously you could be in Russell, but unfortunately you would have to have been in at your mid-band pullback. I can't get you in it now. Same way with the oil. Now, SE did break up, and see how you have a low, high, higher low. This area right through here broke up. So you could definitely be in SE also. I don't know if anybody's watching gold, but it's moving around pretty good. So unfortunately, we've got to wait for some kind of a pullback. That's all we can do. But real quick, just so everybody can see, if you look at this chart here, even just the way I teach it, see how you have a low here, a high. So in other words, your low is here, your high is here, your low here, high here, low here. So that's your two areas that if they break them, they're going to more than likely head back up, okay? And so you look at those areas, and of course, if you happen to get them to break and kiss, see how it broke and kissed it? That's your area to get in that trade. Very aggressive, break and kiss, break again, and more conservative right there. And that's the way this works. Okay. So basically on this trade here, see how this is getting a high here on the left, a low here, and a high here. This needs a higher low if it's going to continue up. See how it just bounced out of that box? Okay. So as a rule, you would take that trade, right? And then your target, looking left to trade the right, is right there. Predictor says a little bit lower, which is right there. And you want to take coin, and then absolutely don't let it go back against this area right here. Now, if you wanted to ride this for the gusto, you could actually put your stop under the box, but that costs you some coin. All right, so let's see what the fib is real quick. Yeah, see that fib was only 38%, so it's either going to bounce or it's not. Now that one went back in the box. You know, if you did like some of our people do, you actually got in on that bar instead, like that. Let me see, right there. And then you'd wait for a higher low to see if it would pop up again. Gold just busted up. I couldn't catch it. Okay, now another area to watch for this trade right here is this 50%, right, like that. And see, they'll barely take out that high to get there, or this low, this high, this low here. And if they take that out, they're technically breaking what we call line in the sand long short. Now this trade right here, the way I teach it, you literally got out of the box and then back in it. So that's a scratch trade. Didn't cost you anything except probably 2 contracts with your broker. And there's a 50% right there. Now you can box it one more time, more like that. See if it's going to break or not. Keep boxing it. You could also turn on power dot too. So far that is a phantom. If it breaks that resistance right there. Hasn't yet. And this is actually definitely an uptrend, so you'd think it would go ahead and continue up, but it could test the 61% too. And just keep boxing until it changes background, and then you're going to wait. It may change background on you. It's coming deeper. But see, you've only caught one trade and you scratched. So now you want to bounce off of line 1, and then I would want to take out that line. Let's see if there's anything else at all. RTY is trying to bounce right here. You could always put it to where you take it only if it takes out mid-band. You could also take the bar close off of the yellow box, which you'll have pretty soon. You don't have it yet. And again, on these right here, you can always wait till it stair steps, because until it stair steps, it's not heading back up. Here's your little stair step right here. I'll draw it. See, I haven't even drawn one down here yet. There, it's trying to, but see, you could box this right here at my line. Let's see if Essie's doing anything here real quick. Draw that trend line right there if that bar closes up. They may just want to play a little bit. We'll find out. See, YM did break. You still haven't gotten a Russell just yet, but see how it's starting to do the little zigzag. So you can keep an eye on that and see if you can get something. See, Essie's still stair-stepping so far. See how YM broke and kissed the box? That's what they do if they're healthy. See that you'll draw a little box and you'll notice that they'll break up, and that was probably 10 ticks, so you could have taken some coin. You are riding a runner right now though. So you did break out the little yellow box, so your long one, Russell too. Okay, just don't let it go back in the little yellow box. And your target, if you look left to trade the right, is right there at 26, 29, 30. And of course higher up here to this top, but you've got to get past this first. That's when I'm trading with Linda, to give an example, if we take this trade right here, we're putting our stop inside the box and we're trying to get to that target right there. And we're also trying to get to this target like that. And if you can get higher, obviously that's even better, right? But we don't know for sure if we're going to get higher at all. We've just got to look to the left to trade the right. That's the way you trade. It looks like you got a target on YM that I called. See there, it's just hitting the target. Now, if you want to take your coin here, you certainly can. See how they're starting to hit their head a little bit? I usually watch that third bar back. If that bar closes up, then you're still pretty okay on this, but be very, very careful because you don't want to just give it all back. Also, Essie I called. All right, you got at least 10 ticks, so there's, $125. That's nothing to sneeze at. And I also called Russell. See how that works, everyone? You just got to be willing to take them. And whichever one you took, bank some coin, you're right at the top on Essie. And let's look to the left to trade the right. Let's see where Essie's going. Looking left to trade the right, you've got resistance right there on a lightning 3, 68.63 and a quarter. And looking left to trade the right, you've got resistance at 66, 67.50, 68, 67.50, pardon me, right there. Okay, just ride your runner. Don't let it even go back like below line 6, to give an example. You want to try to stay with this thing as long as you can, obviously, but you also want to protect your coin. Okay. Mike, on your question, when we were trading earlier, when you saw this Russell right here that I took and Linda took the exact same trade, we just boxed in line 0 to 1 touch. Might have been touch plus 1. I think I usually use at least touch plus 1. All right, your target on Russell is up here at 26.30.70 if we can get there. All right, YM broke through. Let's see where it's going. Always always look left to trade the right. You've got a swing right across here that they took out. Look to the left to trade the right. You've got another swing right there that they just tagged, so be careful with it. But stop just under line 6. If you want to, you can hold it deeper if you want. I got you in way down here. Okay. Now, if we can break this, you got to swing all the way up here. That would be a really nice little pop. And I would think it would hit its head a little bit there, if it can get there. But if it gets there and goes through it, stick with it. But, you know, stop could still be close under line 6. Or if it gets any kind of a red lightning. Everybody get you a little smidgen of that? As we say, not too shabby. All right, oil has a swing right here at 66.76. High, low, higher, high. You don't really want it going under that, okay? You could box this in at mid-band. This is first time in the mid-band after a trend change. See how that works, everyone? Beautiful way to trade, everyone. Just trade like I teach here. You notice that we've gotten trades on 3 charts. Not too many rooms will do that for you. There's your target on Russell right there, 26, 30, 70 and higher. If we can get there, that is. I like that. That's the way to make money. You know, watch this bar even while it's at this line. Will it go through it? Will YM go to its next target? Will SE go to its next target? Well, as traders, we got to make sure that we don't just let them, you know, barely tag a line and then all of a sudden take us out. So you got to be careful of that. It's a beautiful way to trade, everyone. There you go. You took it out. Now, once you take it out, see this right here where it took out the top here? You look to the left to trade the right. All right. Let's see here. Well, really, there's not really what I call a major swing until right here at this 26.32.70. So if it gets there, you'll be a happy camper. But look how it's already hitting its head a little bit. So be careful with your coin. Always be careful with your coin. You don't have to give it back to them. See how we took our coin right at that top? That's the way to do it. You know, just don't let them take it from you. You know, we had a line drawn there. Now, third bar back, remember, 1, 2, that bar needs to close up. See, that closed up. Now you can put your stop right there. Remember I said line 6 close below? It did not take you, so you're still in it if you want to be. If you wanted just to take your coin at the top like we did over here, you're out. That's the way it's done. Put your stop just under my line on YM. Put your stop just under the green power dot on SE, and you could put your stop at that second line, third line down from the top, right there where my cursor's at. I like that. We say not too shabby. Think about this. If you did 3 contracts on YM, you're up roughly 93, about 70 ticks. On SE, you're up from that trend line break, 55, 75, let's say even 56, 50 even, fine. All right, so there's almost 8 points, not quite. And that's the way it's done. By the way, so far I've been recording this because this is part of our webinar, live trading, live teaching. Okay, and I'll pause it in between when I don't have anything to say. Mike's asking, what do you mean by the third bar back when you talk about taking your coin off the table? Well, see, a lot of times what they do, you'll notice that you have a bar up here where my cursor's at, bar down, bar up. That happens a lot, okay? So basically what you're saying is, okay, I don't want to go more than that third bar back, okay? Now notice that they took out the top just a little bit. This has to be a higher low than this to continue up. Now, what I would do in a case like this would put my stop right there at that line. Don't let them go any lower than that, okay? Because they could just be totally through. And the thing is, you know, when they're through, they're just through. Look where I got out. What if I would have held that? It came down more than 3 bars, and then it went back up, and you're thinking, wow, it's going to go up some more. But then look what it did. You got to take your coin at these swings. That's why I look to the left to trade the right and take money at these swings like this. It's very important to do so. Now, if you keep getting higher lows, you're good to go. You can ride this thing for the gusto, but you got to be willing. If you're doing that, you got to be willing to let it come all the way back against you. And you know, why do that? Watch this bar and see if it closes up. If it closes up, it's a higher low than this. That's what they do, is they check micro swings first. If they can break micro, they'll go down and check a medium swing. They'll do a complete fib. They may come down on top of this swing right here, even see it. So that's why you want to get out of these things if they break these little micro swings. See, I'm drawing lightning on the chart to show you right where it's at. See how that works? See how that bar's trying to close up? It did close up. Now notice that that low here, this high, this low, this high, that's a higher low so far. But you also got to look on the right side of the chart instead of just the left side right here and see, is this next bar going to go up and take this out? See, so far it is. And you got your stop. Beautiful way to trade. You see, you don't have to take your coin at the swings, but you have to take it at these micro breaks. And so far that didn't break. It's still trying to head up. See how the lightning's stair-stepping? That's what you look at right there. The reason I turned lightning on this chart, I wanted you to see it, you know, the way it's really drawing. I can see it, and most of our members can see it without drawing it. But if you draw it, you'll notice that you'll really be able to see it, okay? So now your target, looking left to trade the right, is really right over here. See it? Big swing, and they're right at it. And if they break it, then you should very likely hit this swing here at 26.33. Okay. But see your bar up, bar down, this bar. If it goes down also, see, and it's trying to, and then that third bar needs to go up, or even the second bar needs to go up. You know, it's nice if a second bar goes up instead of waiting for the third bar. Okay. See there? Now, see how this is trying to make this little micro swing right here? It's just a micro swing. Okay. Your true swing is right down here right now if you want to hold this for a gusto. And looking left to trade the right, you've also got a swing right across here too. Just stick with it as long as you can. I mean, it's a good trade. I called it out way down here at Phantom. Got to admit. So Essie's almost at her target. YM hit its target. That's a outlier predictor too. So watch your coin. Look to the left to trade the right. They did take out the swing, just barely. Okay. So you'll watch this and you'll say, okay, are they going to take this out with a vengeance, or are they going to pull back some first? Okay. So you just watch the little consolidation patch. You could even put a box over this area right here. You really don't want it going out of that box. And that's if you just want to get the best part of this trade. I mean, you know, think about this. You're in way down here at 929 or so, 930 say. That's a good trade. That's almost 100 ticks. You can't knock getting 100 tick trade calls in a room, because let's face it, even at one contract, you're up mightily on this trade call. Oil didn't fire yet. It might have fired right here on that bar, but you can also bring that down there like that and wait for it to break. See how that one's hesitating? It hit another target for us, but let's see if that bar closes up. And this is exactly what you do when you're trading, is just watch your little zigzags. That's exactly the reason we use 4-range bars. See how that's got a high, a low, a lower high right here, and if that bar closes down, this actually will probably turn on even lightning too to the downside. Doesn't mean it's ready to short, but it does mean that your trade's pretty much over, right? That's the key to it. See, that closed below that line right there that I drew. You have to get a higher low than 26.30, or this is not heading up any longer. See, if that bar closes up, you're still okay. Everybody sees this, right? I mean, this is the absolute best way to trade that money can buy, so to speak. See, that stopped you out on that trade right there. If you want to hold it, you'd have to hold it with that swing, and it has to hold 68, 61 and a quarter. But see how much you've already given up otherwise? You know, that's why we use these little micro swings, just like that. Missed a heck of a trade call on gold as far as down, but that's all right. See what they do? Notice how they wicked that swing. Now this is what they do. Uh, if they break these little micro swings, like see this high, this low, this barely higher high, just barely by a tick, that's still your swing where I drew that line. That's a micro swing. So when they broke 26.31.30 with the close of a bar or even a couple of ticks, you're out of that trade. That's a nice trade. You're done. You could be ready to get back in it if it bounces here, but you don't have to. I mean, think about it. If you did this trade or this trade or this trade that I called live, you'd be up nicely and we could shut the room down, because that's all it takes. See, I didn't even trade these trades. I'm trying to do more like a webinar today even, and show y'all how to get into these trades in real time. See how that's trying to bounce? They wick these swings. When they wick them and they bounce, they're going to take that top out more than likely, because what they do is they take out micro and then they go down and check secondary swings and they wick that secondary swing, and that simply means that they took it out by a tick or two. Okay, here's your little box again on oil. See, so if you went back in it, or if you held it, now keep in mind, you can hold with what we call the lightning swing. See, all that did is test it. See, and a lot of our people will hold it, but think about this, from the top of line 8 to line 4 is 24 ticks. That's a 24 tick pullback minus a couple of ticks. So that's why it's so important to take coin when they hit these swing areas. Because if you'll take coin like I did earlier, you don't wait for it to go back against you. That was only $255 this morning on that trade that Linda and I took, but it's $255. That's the whole key to it. You want to stay profitable in your trading, and that's the way to do it right there. Now, will this go ahead and head up and hit this line? Probably, but see how they try to test you first? That's why we draw on our charts. Now, you don't know now if this is going to be a high, a low, a lower high, and then check this low. Now, if you get a higher low, it'll probably take out that high. But we'll see what it does. We'll just see. Now, like I said, I know some of you are still in this one, and that's fine. But you gave back 22 ticks to hold it. And with one contract, that's $110. And if you think about it, if you have, 5 or 6 or so accounts, $100 bill for a day would be enough. $800 times 5 is 4,000 a week. See how that's getting a lower high so far? Now, if it gets a higher low than this, they'll head on up, but it looks like they want to retrace some. So me getting out of that trade at 26.31.30 with a closed bar was pretty good. Now let's see if this holds with a higher low at all. They might. They just might. But if they take it out, this is your true line in the sand long short right there, that if they go breaking it, they could still head down. See how that did a high, low, lower high, and lower low? Anytime you get in a trade, if you don't get, some kind of a stair stepping, then they're going to go back against you. See, now, right now they're trying a couple of ticks and saying, okay, we'll just see if anybody wants back in this. So now you want to check your fibs and see they haven't even gone to a 50% as of yet. Okay, now this would be another entry, but here's another way I look at this. If you got this trade that I called and got out here, you don't need another trade unless you just want it. You can box it in, or you can wait for it to stair step. See, even SC hit its head. YM hit its head. Did I draw that box and say take that trade off the table if it broke it? in real time. I did. It was not even there yet. We drew it when it was like that. So why not take that coin? Because so many traders will go, okay, it hit everywhere I drew on my chart, but then they hold it and they hold it. And they go, wow, it's starting to head back up. And then it breaks some more and they hold it and they hold it and they hold it. And they think, wow, it's breaking up again. And then it goes down a little bit further. It's stair stepping. And see, for sure, when you take out this swing right here, high, low, higher, high, they're not heading up anymore. That's line in the sand long short. That's actually a short area for a short trade. And a lot of our people take that. Now, if you look at the Fibonacci on it, more than likely this is just a fib. Let's see, let me get rid of one of those. Yeah, 61%, but it changed backgrounds and everything. So to take this trade back to the upside, you need it to stair step. But see, lots of our people are short and they already got 86 down to 58. So that's 20, say 25 ticks, however you got filled. Okay. But wasn't that beautiful drawing on that chart? That's what you want to do. I'll go ahead and stop the recording for a few minutes. This is going to be posted on our website as like live training, and I'll probably only run it literally for about 45 minutes, maybe a little close to an hour, but not quite. That way it just doesn't get boring, because those trade setups are real and you can take those trades. The only one that I missed telling you about was line in the sand on YM, but I did call it on SE. See it? You can short that. See the high, the low, the higher high. They break that with a closed bar. You can box that in and short it. Just remember though, until it takes out this swing over here to the left, they're not heading down on the conservative side yet. Okay. It's the way it's done, everyone. Now see, Russell actually came close to the 61%. Now, if you want to try this again, you really want to either box it in right where it's at, take a bar close. If it goes back in the box, you get out. You got to wait for the bar close though. And it's a riskier trade because you've already gotten your trade so far. You can see it's still heading down so far, but there's your box right there. It's amazing, if you draw on your charts, you'll be able to tell right where they're going to hit their head. That was all drawn in real time. Notice YM just hit it just right at that 49.015, just what, 4 ticks above it. That's because your markets are always going from support to resistance. No matter how you slice it, you can put every indicator on these charts or whatever, but you will notice that they go from support to resistance. Still waiting for a break on crude oil if you want it at all. See how YM went from corner to corner, so to speak? Isn't that amazing? We got in right there at that line. People that shorted got 2 trades. Called this trade on SE. I said this was your line in the sand long short. So let's say that you got, I don't know, let's say 57 all the way up to 63. So 7 points. That's 28 ticks. That's $300 bill, right? At least 312.50, I think. This is your phantom trade setting up right here. As we speak, and if you box it in, you might be in that one. But there's one trade, there's two trades, there's a third trade. I'd be a little bit more leery of YM because it changed total mid-bands and everything. But here is your line in the sand long short, and here's your line in the sand long short. And see, this didn't double top at all, so this is a legit phantom. But if this goes back in this little box right across here, which it is doing right as we speak, it's got to get a higher low than that right there if it's going to head up. And you always take a chance of a falling knife anytime you get in a long trade or vice versa on a short. Because the old rule of thumb is you don't know how deep they're going to go. You just don't. Yeah, there you go, Jonathan. Jonathan's saying it was a beautiful power dot. And let me see if Pat's in the room just a second. No, but Pat's working on this trade for us to where you'll have an object trader trade that will take this stair-stepping mid-band power dot. That turns out to be a great trade. And same thing on your short side. So you go from a short mid-band to a long mid-band, stair steps. And there's your first power dot. Actually, that one's right there, and that one right there. That's the way it's done. How many of you did short Essie right here? You're still short. Your stop would be right there. People that took the phantom got faked out. It went back in the box, so that was a scratch if you were quick enough to get it. That gold is cratering like nobody's business. Mercy be. I don't know if anybody's watching that, but it dropped like $6,000 per contract in the last little bit. Now this is a phantom trade. Notice that they checked what we call the line and sell them short conservative. Okay, this is a legitimate phantom trade, except that it changed the mid band. So if you want something like this, you can't let it go back against this line. But also keep in mind some of our people are short. Anybody have any questions on any of this while we're drawing on charts and seeing what's going on? We haven't even gotten to the open yet. This has been a good morning so far. John's saying at some point you will need to explain the green yellow box. What are those drawn off of? And let's see, Ian says the only way to trade GC is with an auto trader. No human can keep up. I do it occasionally, you know, when I try to get, but man, I'll tell you what, if you don't get out of it quick, it can go against you really, really quick. See, everyone, trading is a little simpler than a lot of people think. You know, now the reason we put colors, bands, and things like that, so we can tell which way they're really trying to go. Like for instance, see YM when it broke up here at the line in San Long short, it did a beautiful mid band also. That's a trade that we teach all the time. And first time in the mid band after a trend change is very powerful. But I'm going to wait now, since it's 18 after, to call the next trade after the market opens. You can see, by the way, that if you were looking at Russell, to give an example, see I called this trade right here, beautiful trade, but if you look to the left to trade the right, you know, you are getting a higher low so far here, but you do have a mid band. So, you know, all bets may be off. They may take out the line in the San long short at the open, but you could be ready though to take a stair step if it does decide. So I like to draw on my charts, and I see a swing right across here. And that's basically my line in the San long short. So if it does break that, you know, I would be looking for long. But in anything under that, you're looking for shorts. You learn to see these line in the San long shorts, you'll do quite well too. Let me just show you real quick how you see that. I'll just draw lightning on the chart. Everybody see this? High, low, higher, high. So if you look to the left to trade the right, if they break this right here, that's actually breaking what we call line in the San long short. I always look to the left to trade the right also. So I would also put a line right there and then draw a box. And if you see that happening in real time and they break that box, you can short that. You just don't let it go back above the box. And see, so far, it's a beautiful short. These markets do this all the time. Up, you think it's just going to head to the moon. Our next target, remember, was way up here. We didn't get it. But we also know when to get out of these trades too. See, even Russell went short out of the box. And these little boxes, I think, will help you that we've got coming for you. Did nothing but break down. Now, oil, on the other hand, you'll notice that it bounced, and let's see what the Fibonacci was on that. Yeah, see, that's a 50%, but the problem is, see, you've got a stair-stepping mid-band, okay? But you can still take a trade if they break these little swings, you know, like this is a little micro swing, looking left to trade the right. That was your next one right there. They haven't broken it yet. So you just draw on your charts. Next trade call will be at 8:30 when the market opens. You know, the one thing I've noticed about the markets, basically from like last year, to give an example, is that you get a lot of this thrust and retrace, and thrust doesn't happen as much as literally, you know, a nice long trade, a nice short trade. It's totally changed, I think. Now let's draw just in case they decide to go up at the open. So let's look to the left to trade the right. And it's an overall big time move to the upside, right? So you've got a nice short, but cover it before the open. And then draw on your chart, and let's see if we can figure out where this thing's going to change directions. Low, high, lower, low. This is like a line in the San long short aggressive. This is a little bit more conservative right here. And we'll get rid of this one so it's not confusing. So anything under this line or even under this line, you're still looking for shorts. But if they go breaking this at the open, they're going to head up. Okay, so you'll be ready for that, obviously, right? So we drew on that chart. Let's go to the ES and see what it's doing. Let's get rid of everything. I'll just do a template's easier. All right, let's look to the left to trade the right. It's in a big uptrend also on the big move. So you've got a low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So basically, I would say right here, since this is major resistance, that would be an area that if it pops above and kisses it, they could head up. Your next stop or setup would be right here, low, high, lower, low. So if it breaks 56.75, they will head up. But anything under this, keep in mind, you can still be looking to short this. They may take this down first. But remember, at the open, they could do it fairly quickly. So we got that one drawn. And we've got Russell ready to draw. See, we had a beautiful mid-band, but let's draw it. Line in the sand along short and line in the sand along short. And it matches that little yellow box, doesn't it? And we're ready. I'll stop the recorder for 5 minutes. All right, we've got our charts drawn on all 4 charts. And you got to keep in mind that even though this Russell did a beautiful mid-band rollover even, notice that it did not take out that low. Not yet anyway, kind of double bottom. So if you're short on this, I'd probably be covering it just in case. Because when they don't take out those lows, see how it's trying to sneak up a little bit? Anytime they double bottom like that, just put your stop nice and tight like we did on this one up here earlier. Like that. That was a good ES trade too, wasn't it, Bob? Draw on those charts, everyone. You'll do fine. You don't get that about the 3rd bar back, Mike? Well, when you're heading up, we got about 3 minutes. See how this bar goes up, this bar goes down, that bar goes up. Well, that never even did a 2nd bar down. So that's a beautiful, just barely retrace and then pop again. Notice that you have a bar up, bar down, bar up, bar up, bar down, bar up, bar down, bar up, bar up, bar down, bar up. See, it's not retracing hardly at all on these little pullbacks. Bar up, bar down, or let's see, bar up, bar down. When you get a 3rd bar back, see how that had a bar down, bar up. So in other words, that's not even a 12-tick pullback. Then notice that you had a bar up, bar down, bar up, so you're still okay. And then bar up, bar up, bar up, bar down, bar up, bar down, bar down, bar up, bar down, and then you break this. See your little high, low, lower high. They break this area right here. You want out. That's like lightning. You'll actually see it if you draw it. See how you have a high, low, lower high, lower low right here. But even on your 1, 2, 3, they broke it too. See right here on that bar. So I use either the 3-bar method or the lightning method. This was telling you right here when they topped out, when they took this out, they weren't heading up anymore. But sometimes they'll fake that one and then head on up. But this one, when they broke high, low, lower high, lower low, they were definitely breaking our lightning. All right. Got 1 minute. Let's get our charts ready. See, that did get a lower high, but notice how much of it they take back. You got in at the same spot they took it back to. That's just the way they do. All right, market opens right now. Just let it ping around a couple of minutes. Notice how docile Russell is compared to even YM and RTY. Anything under these, you're shorting. Still a little too fast. Now, if this is truly going to head up, it's going to get a higher low and head up. But see, that was a fake so far on YM. Anybody short Russell at the little white power dot? You couldn't have gotten this one because it was the open, but there was your power dot there. And YM is right there at your line in sand long short. At my line, see how I kissed it? Now careful because it's still moving pretty good, but put your stop just under that area right there where my cursor's at. You might have already gotten some coin. See, YM's giving you the heads up, they're heading up. Notice how Russell did the same thing. See, I drew on my charts for you, and you could technically be long. See how Russell broke and kissed my line? Just be careful with it because it moves a little bit. And here's another thing you can do too, everyone, which we're trying to build this particular trade. See how this went from a red midband to a green stair stepping? That was your first power dot. That was your second one. And you're still good to go on that trade, by the way. So I called that YM. Even here was a beautiful place on YM. You know, you just waited for the conservative break and it kissed it. So as far as the recording goes, I've been recording for right in an hour. So I think I've marked up charts enough that somebody could see in real time how you could take these trade setups, okay? So I'll post this particular one and I'll change it from Monday night webinars to just training webinars. That way nobody gets confused. And this will get posted right after we close the room.